Family-centered, Christian-based, grown in the heart of the Midwest. Talking to people from all walks of life.
The world needs more encouraging stuff, honest conversation. I always put my biblical spin on everything because that's my foundation. My name's Bubba. What is up?
I don't think he got the hint.
Yeah, he did. There he goes. There, he got it that time. Okay.
I think we're going to go to West Delaware's volleyball game tonight. One of my best friends, his daughter's a senior there. She's
Okay.
a senior night tonight, so we'll go to support them.
There you go.
She's leading Class 3A in kills this
Oh,
year. So
so it's going to be a good game,
yeah,
too.
It's against, I don't know, Center Point. Maybe it's like 6 and 8 seed.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good game.
I like it. What time you got to get out of here? What time we got to get you out of here?
The game starts at 7. So
Okay, 4:20 right now.
We got time.
We'll be done in an hour. We'll be good. What is up, everybody? Welcome back for part 2 of episode 66 with my favorite former bull rider and Amish community member, David Raber. If you missed part 1, you got to go back and listen to it. David shared his story, what it was like growing up Amish. He gave us a glimpse of that, moving away from that, riding bulls, kind of chasing a hole in his life, filling it with everything but Jesus, and eventually he found him. So it was a great story, lots of entertaining stuff, encouraging stuff in there. But this week we're going to get into his segments. We're going to have some fun, have some laughs, I'm sure. And at the end, we're probably going to get a little serious, and hopefully we'll encourage you guys, enlighten you a little bit. So speaking of encouragement, you guys know me. I got to give a couple shout-outs real quick to art's really not my thing, but I got a couple artists that support us. Tony Thomas, that it would be the husband of Phyllis Robertson Thomas, Phil Robertson's daughter. So that'd be Phil's son-in-law. He is one talented artist. Check him out, TonyThomasArt.com. I've got some of his stuff in my studio right here. I got a wood duck right behind me, signed autograph print. Phil and Miss Kay even autographed it as well. So if you want something for that home or cabin of yours, go check out TonyThomasArt.com. And also my buddy Jim Gillespie, Dale Reber over at the Steve Brown Art Center in Jessup, if you're more local. That is a thriving community where art flourishes with dynamic exhibits and interactive workshops. They spark creativity and passion. Check them out on Facebook if you want to see more of what they're about. They're trying to do something good for artists in the area, raise some funds for a house so artists can come and live in and do their thing. So, all right, now let's get to this episode. Welcome back, David. You ready to get into your segments, have some fun?
Yes, I am.
All
Yes,
right,
I am.
let's do this. Everybody in the audience, you know the deal. We workshop these episodes. They don't just step into my studio. They don't just step into my studio with no preparation. These are segments that David chose, so he's ready for them. Pastor Tommy's segment, this is one of my favorites. When you get to heaven, and yes, you can know that you're going to be there. You can know right now. If you don't know, you email me, you call me. We'll get it straightened out, I promise you. But when you get to heaven, if there's a theater room, like a movie theater, where you can say, I want to see this, and I'm not talking a movie, I'm talking about an event from history, and God says, let me put that on for you. This is how it happened. What are you picking?
I'm going to go with Noah's Ark situation.
Okay. You want to see the flood, the ark?
I want to see the flood. I want to see the building of the
ark.
ark.
You want to see him build it.
I want to start from the beginning. When God when he tells him, hey, go build this ark.
Okay.
I want to see him build it. Because, that's a massive ship.
Oh, man.
I want to see how they built it. I'm fascinated by history. So, and then I want to see, the whole process of the animals going in there.
Sure,
sure. I can envision it, but it's
yeah.
I don't know. We were in Tennessee this summer. My son was playing baseball down there, and that's not too far from the Ark Adventure.
Yep.
We were going to try to, swing by. It just never worked on our time. I was kind of disappointed. But that is on my bucket list of places to go. But that would be, to me, I think that would be fascinating. There's lots of other things, but I think my second one would have been the beginning of creation and
yeah.
But this story really fascinates me.
I like it. Good choices. Okay, stop complaining and do something segment. I come up with this segment for the younger generation because whoever is the younger generation at the time, they get a bad rap. You grew up in the Amish community. You didn't. You were a hard worker. But the rest of us outsiders, every younger generation gets a bad rap. You're lazy, you got it too easy, all that stuff, and we just give them a hard time. Now, This is it. Stop complaining about the younger generation. If every young kid in America was in your youth group and you had a chance to speak an encouraging message to them, what are you going to say to them? Instead of complaining, what are you going to do?
You know, I think I would start out with, like, just think about what you're going to do and make good choices. We all make bad decisions in life. Mm-hmm. But instead of complaining about that bad decision, what can you learn from it? Like,
okay.
If you didn't like it, change it.
Yeah.
There's the way I look at it. That's what I tell my kids all the time. Like, oh man, I didn't perform the way I wanted to do today. I'm like, what are you going to do about it? Instead of complaining about it, like, understand what you have to do. If you don't know, go find somebody that will.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell them. 24 hours in a day. You don't get 24 hours in 1 minute, and I get 24 hours in 10. We all get 24 hours in a day. What are you going to do with those 24 hours in a day? Just instead of complaining about it, figure out, what can I do differently? How can I change what I don't like? Control the things that you can control. Mm-hmm. And the other things, sometimes you just have to leave
it's out of your hands.
Out of your hands. Like, it just frustrates when I see it probably more from a coaching standpoint. It's like baseball, especially. Baseball is a game of failure. It's like, man, I sucked. What are you gonna do about it? Like, let's work on it. Like, instead of complaining about your outcome, let's see what we can do to fix it.
Right. I like that's one of the best answers I've got. I like the sports analogy, because we can say that, and I tell my son the same thing. You have one bad play, the only thing you can do about it at the moment is put it behind you and forget about it.
Yes.
If you're going to carry it with you, it's going to affect the very next snap.
Yeah.
After the game, we'll look back and do exactly what you said. Okay, now how do we fix this? How do we correct this? How do we not let this happen again? How do we do better here? Absolutely. But in the moment, let it go. Yep. Finish the game. Absolutely. Man, that's good stuff.
It's like I told my son 2 years ago, he was at wrestling. He was a district champion in wrestling, and he went on to state.
All right.
A couple days before he tweaked his MCL. But he was really disappointed. He didn't end up placing. I think he finished one whole lot of placing down at state. And, he's really disappointed. I'm like, you have two choices. You can sit here and whine and complain about it.
Yeah.
Or you can take this as hey, what do I need to do to get better?
Yep.
And I just think, and that goes for all things in life, I think.
Sure. Yeah, I like when a season ends, I like to be that guy to tell a kid, hey, chin up. Next season starts tomorrow. Yeah. It don't start, 9 months from now. It starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it don't start when it starts, when it opens or whatever.
Get back to work, man. Get back to work. I like it. All right, this segment, I love this. I love this because it's one I don't like to answer, so I like to hear other people's answer. Do-over. If there was something in life that you could go back and get a second chance at or do over again, what would it be?
I would go back to the first years of our marriage, for one, and I would change a lot of things, like how I treated my wife. I think that the way I treated my wife, I made a lot of bad choices. I mean, I really did. And if there's one thing, I would go back there. Kind of what you said earlier. In reality, our marriage probably should have never lasted,
Yeah.
But that is one thing I would for certain. If there was another thing that I would really could go back and do, I would go back to when I was 17, and I had a choice to go. The people I worked for at the time said they would help me if I wanted to go to high school and finish test out and figure out, and then basically have 1 year. And then the school said I would go back and I would go to high school just so I could experience that.
Okay.
That would be the other thing.
All right.
I think that would have been a pretty unique experience, but
that would be. That raises a question. So if you didn't listen to part one, we talked about how, in the Amish community, pretty much by 8th grade, you've got all the actual school skills, knowledge that you need. You're ready to work. How do you think you would have if you had then started testing to say, okay, am I smart enough to go ahead and get like a high school equivalency after your 8th grade education? How well do you think?
I think I would have did pretty well, because I ended up going through Kirkwood, had or a Hawkeye Community College, not Kirkwood, and did got a high school, got a GED.
Okay.
So and that was basically the same thing. A lot of stuff you could test out too. It was just like the social studies and the science and stuff that we never got to do that we did.
See, this is where I see a shift happening. everyone used to look at like homeschooling as like, oh, those are weird people, weird families, weird kids. Oh, they're going to fall behind because they're not in the public school system and things like, and I'm a public school kid. My kids are public school kids. I get that. But we're seeing now homeschool kids, probably some Amish kids, they're actually like farther along than we would ever give them credit for. It's like the public school system is some polished model of perfection, which I think we know now it's not. There's plenty of room for improvement. You can have a homeschool kid. You can have an Amish kid. You can whatever. So if you do it right, these kids are just as smart, if not smarter, farther along sooner, because there's so much wasted time inside of like a public school model. You could actually get farther faster if we did things a little bit differently. And it didn't used to be that way. You would just look at kids, if they didn't go to public school, they were weird.
Yep.
And that's just not.
And I would say to your point that I was really surprised when because I thought I was going to learn a ton. Like, I really didn't learn a lot from what I learned up to 8th grade, but from my GED, I really didn't feel like I learned much more. Like, as far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was pretty amazed by that. That's pretty crazy. To your exact.
You had 8 good years probably, and that's you can get a lot done in that 8 years if you're on the ball. I like it. Okay. Getting to know you segment. This one's a lot of fun. Here comes some just random questions that help the audience get to know the ins and outs of who you are. And you picked the questions, but you had quite a few to choose from. Pet peeves.
Oh, my biggest one is probably when somebody doesn't give 100% effort. Like, if I'm working along the side of somebody and I see them, they're just like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It just drives me bonkers. Like, I want to see you 100%. I don't know why. Like I said before, I'm a very competitive person. I just don't know. When something needs to get done, I just want, like, let's get it done.
Yeah.
It just drives me crazy. I don't know why.
Oh, man.
It really does. The second thing I would say, if I had to, is slurping food. I do not like. I do not. It drives,
like spaghetti, soup, anything,
like anything like that.
Oh,
and I don't know. I probably got it from my dad because he hated it. And when I was a kid growing up, we always sat at the table to eat as a family, and I'd sit next to him. If you even like made a tiny sound, he would. He'd reach over and smack you a lot of times. I'm always like, oh, jeepers. But now I'm like, man, I'm that same grumpy old man.
It happens. It comes full circle for all of us. We become our dads. It's weird. It is. Okay. I like it. If you could meet anyone in the world, now or in history, doesn't matter, living or dead, who would it be?
First one would be Jesus, to me.
Okay.
I think that would have been pretty fascinating. We'll get to see him again.
Yes, there you go. That's the right answer.
The other one's kind of way in a different. Daniel Boone.
Okay.
I love history. I really like American history, especially. I'm just fascinated by all the outdoor adventure. I just love to like walk along the side and pick his brain and be like, what was it like? You know, what was America like when you're, like
pioneer man?
Yeah. I think that'd be fascinating.
Heck yeah. Good choice. I don't think anybody said that before. Oh, American pioneer there. When channel surfing, what movie do you stop and watch no matter where it is?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
It's like the American classic.
I like
that movie's so dumb too, but
It
I
is.
don't know. It's so dumb.
Those are the movies. Those are the ones. It don't matter if it's halfway through, towards the end. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I can watch this.
Yeah, I would. I used to watch it all the time too. Like we'd have cable. We don't have cable now, but we have cable, and be like, what's on? Dodgeball's on. That thing was on all the time at one point.
Oh, I think it still is. Yeah,
that's like an American classic.
Duck, dip, dive, dodge, or whatever. Dodge. He said it twice. That was good. All right. First car, worst car. So this could be two different cars, or for some people, it's the same car.
It's probably the same car for me. It was a 1990. It was my first car. 1990 Plymouth Dodge Voyager. Was it a Plymouth Voyager? It's like the minivan. Was that a Voyager or was that a? Yeah, Plymouth Voyager. I think it was what Plymouth Voyager.
Yeah,
it was like the old school minivan.
Did it have wood grain paneling on it or no? It was a
yes, it had wood grain paneling on the bottom.
Oh my God. Oh wow. Yeah, my wife's grandparents had one of those.
Yeah, we people gave us a lot of hard times about that car, but
I don't know who in a meeting room in Detroit, some came up with the idea? Let's put wood grain paneling on the outside
on
of
the
certain
bottom, yeah.
vehicles.
It was like a peeling or whatever. It was just like a paper type of, but yeah, still, yeah, it was red. I remember.
Wow.
That was one of my first cars. The thing died on Interstate 20 on us, and we just left it sitting there.
It just became property of the United States or Iowa highway system.
It was young and immature part of me, I guess.
Wow. You can have it. It ain't worth it. Dang. I can't believe your first vehicle was a minivan.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't have much. It was actually the kid that we bought it together, me and the kid that I lived with.
Oh, you had to go in halves on it?
Yeah, I didn't have no money. You know?
Let's go back to part one to hear
Yeah.
that story. The dude started out his adult life with $20 and a few changes of clothes. That was it. That's all you got. Okay, good one. Favorite restaurant or fast food?
My favorite restaurant, I don't know if it's fast food or not, but Hoo Hot Mongolian Grill.
Okay.
I love Hoo Hot.
Yeah, it could be either restaurant or fast food.
That's kind of both, really. I mean, it's kind of fast, but not really.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
I've been there once because I got tired of talking about it, and so I finally went there once. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. I would say I did like it. I probably built it up too big in my head or whatever. But yeah, I like the experience of it too. Like the food itself, I kind of wasted my first trip up there.
Yeah.
And the second trip I realized, hey, get less noodles, get more of all the meats and the seafood and stuff. And then the third time I went up there, I saw a guy. I was like, oh, he's been here before. He does 2 bowls at a time.
Yeah.
So it saves you that second trip. And I'm like, this guy knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't like it the first time I ever ate it because I mean that's one thing as an Amish thing. I mean, as far as food, I mean,
I
if
didn't
it
ask
wasn't
you about food.
if
Dang.
it was an American like your basic potatoes, beef, pork, or chicken, I mean that's what you had. I mean,
Yeah.
it was your like. I don't know, maybe the old school farm or whatever. I mean, we ate a lot of deer and stuff too, but like we didn't eat Mexican or Chinese or we just didn't. I don't know.
How was the food?
The Amish food?
I mean, growing up, yes.
I mean, it's what you grew up on.
I mean,
I
so
thought
you
it was
didn't know.
great. Yeah, I mean, I love it.
But it was always meat and potatoes.
I mean, yeah, meat,
beef,
potato.
venison.
Yeah, chicken.
Okay, chicken.
I mean, a lot of beef. I mean, I would say for supper at least at nighttime or lunch, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was always potatoes and some sort of meat. I mean, predominantly.
Sure,
It'd be like,
sure.
and even lunch during the daytime.
What about breakfast?
Breakfast a lot of time. I mean, for us,
Eggs.
we always had eggs and cereal. I mean,
Okay.
99%. Sometimes we had like sausage or bacon with it, but that wasn't all the time.
Yeah.
But always eggs and.
Did you guys have regular bread that you could toast, or did you have like the homemade?
Yeah, we
bread?
had both.
You had loaves of bread.
Yeah, my mom baked bread, but we probably bought more bread than she baked.
Okay.
For some reason, I'm not sure why. I mean, quite a bit. She baked quite a bit of bread, but
Yeah. I was gonna ask you something else about food. I can't remember it.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I remember as a kid. So, real quick, we'll kind of go off. So, I had 6 brothers and 6 sisters.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, my parents they had 1 boy, then they had 6 girls, and then they had 6 boys.
Dang.
But I'm one of the youngest, second to the youngest one. So really, my older siblings were pretty much all married and out of the house by the time I remember. But I remember like we'd raise chickens, like the broiler chickens, and we'd butcher. We'd eat like 3 whole chickens for supper one
At a
time.
meal?
Oh yeah, like sometimes 4. And I'm like, crazy.
Wow. Okay. I had another question or whatever. We're gonna solve this debate right here. So you hinted to it right there. My growing up, we had breakfast, lunch, dinner. You could call dinner supper. Dinner, that was the evening, because you go to school. What do you have at school? You don't have dinner at school. You don't have supper at school. You have lunch at school. What do you have when you go to work? If you work first shift, you have a lunch break. You don't have a dinner break. You don't have a supper break. But then I get into the farming community, and I'm guessing by your grin, the Amish community is the same way. You're going to tell me there's something different. There's something off with that, right?
Yeah. It was breakfast, dinner, and supper.
Breakfast, dinner. Why do we put dinner
I'm not sure.
in the middle of the day?
To me now it's lunch.
Okay.
Not now, yeah. But like, it took a long time for me to kind of.
Do you see my reasoning?
100%.
If you and the wife go out to eat some night, what are you going out for? You're going out for dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner. So how can dinner be in the middle of the day and at the end of the day? It can't. But then I did hear my retired grandpa once, like, I understand they used to call it their dinner pail, is what they would take to John Deere's, their dinner pail. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I get the dinner pail, but that's your lunch break at Deere's. It's not your dinner break. And so it's just...
So sometimes we'll have the comments, I'll be like, I'm going to go out for dinner. Well, what do you mean? Dinner?
Yeah.
Or dinner?
Yeah. You got to clarify it as a family. So me and my wife were on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. It's
Good.
lunch is lunch for us, and dinner or supper. A lot of times we call it supper. A lot of times in the evening, I guess. But
Yeah, I think dinner came also as like that's your biggest meal, and that's middle of the day because that's got to get you through the rest of the afternoon and evening work or whatever on the farm. I've had a farmer tell me that. That's where it came from. But okay, let's keep moving. Favorite sports teams or athletes?
for football, it's got to be Green Bay Packers.
Oh, he's a Packers fan. I don't got any Packers memorabilia anywhere, I don't think. No.
As long as it ain't Vikings.
No, that's my in-laws.
Okay. And then baseball's the Cubs.
All right. There we go. We got a Cubs championship hat up there.
They're letting me down here the last 2 days.
No, it doesn't look good right now. It looked good there when they got out of that first round. But
Tegan, my son, thinks they're going to go home and win the next two and be a Game 5, he says. But.
Well, stranger things have happened, but I'd say he's awful hopeful there. We'll see. Okay. One thing you are looking forward to this coming year?
I'm really looking forward to our high school baseball team.
All right.
Continuing sports or whatever. I think should have a pretty good team on paper, and I'm really looking forward to the high school.
And we're talking Starmont.
Starmont, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We tried getting Wapsie on the schedule, but I don't think the dates worked out. So.
Oh, really?
They said they had the games in that they won. So.
Oh, the summer schedule's done.
Yeah.
JJ, we're gonna have to Bergman, athletic director Bergman. We gotta put it out there. Starmont wants a piece of Wapsie on the diamond. Let's make it happen. I'm sure we got a free weekend.
And then I'm excited for the kids' baseball and softball. Obviously,
good.
My daughters play softball. My youngest one said she's not going to play this year, but I'm excited for that.
Summer sports, I like it. Okay, this one, the usually the wife or husband of every guest loves that I keep this in there as an option, and most of you guys choose it. One thing you love or appreciate about your spouse.
I'm going to say her patience. I mean, she puts up with a lot of my stupid ideas, whatever. I mean, for no reason. I mean, even with helping coach baseball, that's a huge sacrifice that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
She especially has to, I mean, takes a lot of time away from her wants and needs, and she, like I said, her patience and just everything about her, I guess she's a trooper.
Love it. Good stuff right there. Behind every great man's an even greater woman. That's what I say.
That's true. Definitely wouldn't be where I'm today without her.
There you go. All right, we have made it to the final segment. We got plenty of time left. Let's talk about, how do I want to open this? What is up segment? This is a segment meant, it doesn't have to be controversial. I've been communicating with Ron Steele lately, trying to get him to come on. And he says, hey, just so you know, I'm not a controversial figure. I won't talk about certain controversial things because I'm a public figure. And I said, I get that, Ron. It doesn't have to be controversial.
Yep.
But it is part of why I started it. It could be anything. It could be non-controversial, but something that's important to you and you want to highlight it.
Yep.
It could be controversial, something people are afraid to talk about and have normal conversations about. I think that's a problem today. Or it could be something, not controversial, but just something that's gone viral lately or is trending or, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be controversial. But you said you wanted to talk about some current things going on in the world today that you just thought were maybe, downright evil, or we're starting to accept things as normal in the culture today, and they're just total opposite to biblical principles and good. And so I'm just going to kind of let you run with it, open it up. What's on your mind?
Yeah, no, I mean, when you initially sent that whole Charlie Kirk thing was pretty fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
So, that was pure evil. I know your episode last week, you talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Man, it's like lots of those types of things are out, the Minnesota school shooting. I mean, people don't want to admit, or whether they want to. I mean, and then was it the one in, I'm going to butcher, the one before that, maybe Texas, where both of those kids, I mean, I don't think we can't not say it, or we can't look past. I mean, those guys were both trans people, so clearly they were not in their right state of mind whatsoever.
Right,
I mean,
right.
to me, I mean, if you're, how do I say it? You know, if you're into that state where you're thinking you're something that you're not, you're clearly, I mean, you have lots of demons and evils that you're dealing with.
Okay.
I think, you know, I don't think that can happen without, you know, without all that evil.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
I saw a quote once that said, or guy I listened to says it all the time. All it takes for evil to succeed is for a good person to do nothing, and I think that's not a true quote. And to that instance, I mean, I feel like, hey, I want to be a girl, and we're just like kind of, we just accept it as a culture, or as a society where, I mean, the Bible clearly states, I mean, God created male and He created female.
Correct.
I think it's okay to have a conversation.
It is. It's needed. Some people will say that's not loving. And I say the love I see in the Bible is being willing to speak truth in love.
Yeah, 100%.
That, so, like you're saying, there's a mental issue going on there. Instead of indulging that, we need to, you don't go kill them.
Yes, let's
conversate, help them with this problem.
Yes.
Because that is not reality. And yeah, like I said last week, when I noticed reality was starting to be, people were saying it's subjective. It's like, well, no. Reality is reality.
Yep.
If people are going to start changing what is real and true and right and good, well, we're going to crumble in a hurry. And I think we've seen the beginnings of that a lot. And you make the point, yeah, we've seen a lot of the shooters and violence and things. A lot of those did end up being trans individuals who are already mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not. I get that. And we have shooters and we have gun violence and all that stuff, and that's a whole part of the issue.
Yeah.
Still evil. Still evil.
Still 100% evil. And like I said, I mean, we all face. I mean, I face demons every day. You know, I think we all face. You know, like, but it's just like I feel like if we need to talk about, and those people, I mean, those guys, they need help, clearly.
Yeah, they need help. Right. I read an article today, a lady I was thinking about reaching out to in Colorado. One of my favorite guys in the whole world is running for governor, Victor Marks. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Former veteran. He was PTSD. He was bipolar. He was this guy should be dead right now, and he's not, by the grace of God. This guy is running to try and straighten up Colorado. He's an amazing guy. He rescues kids from sex trafficking. He holds the record for the fastest handgun disarm because of all the trauma he faced as a child. He said next time a gun gets pointed in his face by his dad, he was going to take it out. And he's got the fastest gun disarm. So he's this great guy, but he's running for governor of Colorado because of all the policy they've put in place, which has prevented, I want to say there's about 24 states in the country that won't allow what they call conversion therapy. So if you lived in one of those states and you had a child that said, you know, it's Jack, but he thinks he's Jane.
Yep.
And you wanted to get some Christian biblical counseling to help him through that, it's outlawed. They call that conversion therapy because you're trying to convert him into something that he's not. And I've read some of the articles, some of the stuff of what they're calling conversion therapy are people who probably shouldn't be counselors in the first place. They were doing some bad things.
Yep.
But this lady is a psychiatrist, a counselor, and she wants to use biblical principles. She's a Christian. But in the state of Colorado, she is not allowed to do that when it comes to gender. Well, now you're saying you can't have those conversations. And she's saying, that's my First Amendment right. I can have those conversations. And the Supreme Court's about to hear that case. So that's good for them.
Yeah, that's great for them. So they can't hear that conversation, but we're supposed to just turn our back to the conversation, as some of these places, like New Jersey or where they're trying to say in kindergarten or a preschool where they're, hey, you can be Jack if you're Jane if you want.
Yeah, you have to buy into it.
Yeah, so it's like the conversation can't just be one way.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
they're allowed to me, I think we should be.
I don't know. I don't know if you've followed it, as closely as I have. I mean, if you got young kids, as a dad, I'm assuming you have. But I honestly think harm's been done. But I think the brakes are starting to be applied, because I think we were headed in a direction where this was full steam ahead. You can't question it. You can't deny it. Would you rather have a dead daughter or a live son, and all the fake arguments that there are? But when the data started coming in, like in the UK and things like that, and Mayo Health Clinic, and they start saying, whoa, these puberty blockers that we're giving to minors, it's not doing what we thought it would. Like, they're still having thoughts afterwards. They're still having mental problems. They still have a suicide rate. All these different things. And then you find these kids, if you just let them go through puberty, the majority of them can kind of work their way through that with probably some good counseling and things like that. So when they start banning puberty blockers on minors, and hospitals and WPATH reports are saying, hey, we need to stop doing this on minors, I was super encouraged when I saw that, because I thought they would just bury that stuff and just keep going this way. But how many kids have had, teenage girls had mastectomies or been given the cross-sex hormones, and now they're sterile? Or you read somebody like Chloe Cole, who's an advocate against this stuff because she went through it, and they don't want her to go on college campuses and talk anymore. It's like, what? You got to have the conversation.
Yes,
it's a two-way street.
Yep.
It really is.
I agree 100%, and that's where I get very frustrated. It's like, I don't really care which side of the political aisle you stand on. To me, like, that's your choice. That's your God-given choice, I guess, or your American right. I mean, it's your right. It's your choice. I mean, we live in America where you still can have. I may disagree with you, but let's have a conversation. I don't like, your choice is your choice. I mean, I want to help you if you are willing to have the help. Yeah. But it's like so many people, like, so back in 2016, Trump's first term, we had some really good friends, and they just pretty much, because of the side of the aisle we stood on, they just were like,
they disowned you guys?
Pretty much. I mean, it's slowly been coming back, but it's like, I don't care which side of the aisle you are. I mean, that shouldn't have. It doesn't matter. Just because your belief is different than mine doesn't matter. I don't. Right. I may not understand why you chose that way. Yeah. And I just think we got to be able to have that conversation. As America, as a country, as a society.
No, I agree. I think that's what made the country great. I mean, from the way I understood it, was the '60s was a time of free speech and debate of idea on college campuses, and Charlie Kirk kind of made it, he kind of went into the lion's den and started having a pretty big impact. I just saw the stat yesterday. That's an actual factual statistic that 19 percentage points of 18 to 29-year-olds went from the left to the right in the last election.
Really? I knew there was a pretty significant one.
I heard that from people from the Republican side of things were saying that. So I was like, okay, how real is the number? How real is the number? Well, then I saw a graphic yesterday. It had that. It had how much of the black vote shifted, how much shifted of the Hispanic vote, and it all went to Trump in the last election. And I thought, okay, how did we win 18 to 29-year-olds? A major part of that had to have been Charlie Kirk and the college campuses and the TikTok using social media. Yep. Who else was trying to have an impact on 18 to 29-year-olds in that way? He was the biggest. Yeah, he had to have been the biggest.
For sure.
But now they don't want that stuff. They want to shout that stuff down. If you take Christian or conservative ideas to college camp, no, that's where the kids are going to learn. That's where you teach them to think critically. You don't have to indoctrinate them with just one view. Yep. You can have an alternate view for sure, but give them both views. Let them weigh the pros and cons of both. Like when you say that hurts me to think, you got friends like that, because I know I've got friends that are a little more liberal. They know I'm a Christian, so I can't budge on I could be wrong on certain views, but I'm going to base my views off the Bible. That's my moral foundation.
Exactly.
There is a side out there, and I'm not saying it's just Democrats, because I don't want to speak in generalities like that, because the Democrat Party back in the day, I don't think was near what it is today. So there is a group out there that hate the moral foundation that I base my life on,
Yep.
that you and I have based our life on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't hate anything but evil. And God's word calls us to stand on that at all costs.
Yep.
So we can't budge off of that,
Yep.
but we're also not going to force you to buy into any delusion we might have.
Right.
You can't have alternate realities and expect people to buy into it. Then you have no reality left.
Yep.
And my side doesn't push that.
Right.
That's coming from one. That side has to open up to reality at some point and say we can't just create multiple realities and expect everyone. It doesn't work. And I think we've seen it in the last however many years. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. We got to get back to reality. We have to.
Yes, I would agree 100%.
I think
we have to come
conversation.
Back. Conversation, 100%. We have to talk. I mean, that's what I tell my kids all the time. I'm like, we try not to talk politics or whatever. You try to raise them as Christians or whatever. I'm like, as you grow up, I'm not telling you have to like this person or that, as far
Sure.
as, it's like, I want you to make your choice when you get older. But I believe it's our job as parents to steer them in or like as a Christian value, that's what we value as Christian. If you teach them that, I mean, they're generally going to steer the right way.
Yes. You're 100% right. We're doing a Bible study on Sundays right now, and I want to say 2 weeks ago, I tried to reiterate that to my kids. I don't think left or right, Republican or Democrat. Don't buy into all the stuff you see on social media. Follow Jesus and let everything you think and believe trickle down from that and the Word of God.
100%.
It's much bigger than politics. We watched a documentary called Truth Rising recently, and it dealt with a lot of the stuff that is coming at the younger generation to try and kind of infiltrate and influence their minds and their thinking. And it started out with all these great empires of the past, Rome and Greece and further back, other empires, just these great grand empires through history. And it's like they're all rubble now. Yep. Why would we think the United States of America, which is only, 250 years old, whatever we are,
yeah.
What would make us think that we wouldn't, that same fate isn't waiting for us?
Yep.
If we continue down a road of everyone can have their own truth and, no one, if God doesn't set right and wrong and a moral foundation, then I'm sorry, it's all going to go to hell in a handbasket, because then what you say is right, what I say is right, no one can say anything. There has to be a set standard.
Yes. I go back to like the book of Isaiah. I feel like America is in what the book of Isaiah was.
Okay.
I don't know. They were like, just doing all. Talks in there about men having sex with men and women having sex with women. Way back in the day. It's like, man, it was gross. But it's like, man, you read that book and it's like, look at America right now.
Look at America
like,
today.
In the end, they come back and they repent. But it's like,
yeah. There's a lot of valuable wisdom there. A lot of warnings there in Scripture too, for sure.
Certainly is.
I know.
Certainly is. There's lots of evil out there. We could probably spend 3 days talking about it without. But I think the basic concept. I think it's important. We got to have conversation with people. And I think as Christians, I think Charlie Kirk was a great example of that. Like
he was.
Like, let them talk. Let them explain how they feel. And I think that's another reason why it's so important we learn Scripture, because his answers all referred back to Scripture.
He was smart.
I'll never be that smart.
I know.
I have a hard time remembering now. But.
He's forgot more than I'll know.
Yeah, same, true.
And I saw something recently. Somebody asked him, I want. I don't know if the kid was a Christian or not, but I know he was probably I know he was a conservative. He was asking, how do I get good at this? How do I articulate these ideas and these philosophies and stuff? And he goes, you just need to read. And Charlie said he reads 100 to 120 books a year. He goes, never stop reading. He goes, some of them are audiobooks, obviously, for the sake of time. He goes, but never stop learning. And then AOC gets up in front of Congress or the House, one of the meetings or something, and I put it in the last episode, and she said he was uneducated and ignorant. And I said, the dude was one of the smartest people. And if you couldn't get that by his responses of facts, biblical history, world history, economics, government, for her to say ignorant means you're unaware of.
Yeah.
You didn't learn it. And then uneducated means you're not smart.
His rhetoric and beliefs were ignorant, uneducated, and sought to disenfranchise millions of Americans.
Charlie Kirk was neither of those things. That was the worst statement ever.
If anything, it was a pretty ignorant statement she made.
Yes, it was an ignorant statement. Or just a lie. Maybe
Yeah.
she knew that and she's just trying to bash him. But yeah, that was not Charlie. He knew, he never stopped learning, and he could just recite these things. And he would even admit, like, there's things I forget. There's times it gets a little fuzzy, but I stay in it all the time, so I'm fresh. And yeah, like you said, the way he let the other side, he would let them come up first and talk. I loved that. Even if they were rude and mean or whatever, man, he could keep his cool like nobody else. I couldn't do it for sure.
No,
I would get my feelings hurt. I would get my, you know how it is. You start to get a little hot inside.
Yeah,
you get a little worked up, and then you get mad, and then
Yeah.
no, he could handle it. Oh, man, that was good stuff. We need more people like that, and just debates. It was kind of a normal thing back in the day, I think, political candidates and debates and stuff. How about more? How about just, secular philosopher, college professor against a conservative philosopher, or whatever?
Yep.
Just the debate of idea. I mean, you got to have that. If one side were to gain a foothold of everything, of every idea, it's going to corrupt that. That will corrupt everything as well. You can't have that. So that's what makes America unique,
You bet.
I love it. So, all right, David, I got to thank you for coming on, man. Thanks for reaching out. I was glad to get to know you, and it's always nice to connect with one of the listeners. It kind of encourages me to keep going and know that I'm making a difference or having an impact and encouraging people. So it was a lot of fun. It's always good discussion. I'm sure you encouraged our audience with your episode and everything you shared. Hopefully got people thinking a little bit about what is up when it comes to life, and how we live it, and what is real, what is true. Towards the end, it got a little deep there, but this world's worth fighting for. And if our kids are going to grow up in it, us dads can't just sit on the sidelines. We got to do our part. Got to have conversation, got to have dialogue. So to my audience, have you guys ever caught yourself looking around and asking what is up with anything? It could be something we talked about today. Could be the pro-life issue, could be the gender issue, could be Netflix's recent trans programming and cartoons, which is just, come on, everybody, cancel your Netflix, support something like Focus on the Family or American Family Radio or something good that has your values. We got to stop supporting Netflix. That's not good. What is up with this stuff? Maybe you just got questions about things in life that have always seemed confusing to you. Maybe you're like David and you just were searching for something to fulfill you and you never found it until you came to Jesus. Okay? That's the answer. You can't find it down here. Nothing down here will fulfill you permanently. We got to look up. If we look to God and His Word, He will truly show us what is up. You guys know my deal. I think the Bible has given the best answers and explanations for why the world is the way it is and why we are the way we are. Okay, so if you're struggling and you need help and you want to know more, let me start with this one simple truth. No matter who you are or what you've done, God wants a relationship with you. That is why you were created. But it's up to us to choose Him. That's where all the good stuff comes from. The hope, the joy, the peace, the best things in life. That's it. If you haven't figured it out by now, you're not going to find it anywhere else. That's it. We all got a God-shaped hole in us, and you can fill it with anything you want, but it won't satisfy. So if you want to go deeper or talk one-on-one, which I've been known to do, been doing a lot more of that recently with people outside of the podcast, you can email me, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com. I'll make time for you. I will try to answer any questions you might have. If I don't have the answer, I'll get you in touch with someone smarter than me who will give you the answer. Just reach out, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking. Help me hit my goal this year. We're on our way to doubling all of our subscribers and followers on every platform, social media, podcast platform, everything. Okay? It's happening. So for me and my guest today, David Raber, thank you so much for listening. We hope it really encouraged you. Lord willing, I'll talk to you on the next one.
Great episode. Thanks for having me. Yeah, just remember, like Bubba says here, God loves you. He wants a relationship with you no matter what. Don't care about what your past was, what you did. We all make mistakes. I mean, He loves you. He wants that relationship. So today, right now, it's a great time. You still got that moment. Change it if you need to. Let's not forget to have a conversation. Like I said, what is up? Look up and see what's up there.
I love it. Good job. Yes,